we walk through this every single day. And there was a drop off of black voter participation. And then you had a whole bunch of loud, ignorant, dumbass black people who were sitting here on social media, on YouTube, running their mouths, don't vote, tangibles. If they don't give us this, we ain't voting. No, we survived slavery. We survived the last 4 years of Trump. We can survive 4 more years. What these idiots don't understand is that Emil Bove nomination, they are relishing putting Klansmen, white supremacists, on the Supreme Court. They can't wait to replace Alito and Clarence Thomas with a 45 or 48-year-old federal judge who is going to be so hard right that they so far right they'll be damn near left. These folks, they want to shut it all down. I have consistently said they want to defund Black America. They want to strip everything when it comes to civil rights. They want to strip economic rights. They want it all.
They absolutely do. And I confess, I say it consistently. I confess to having a bit of, I'm enthusiastic. I won't call it euphoric yet. Those of my friends who are well-studied, as our friend Gerald Horn calls them, our friends on the left, whose basic argument for saying that we live in a duopoly and voting doesn't matter in those contexts, that this has to get worse before it gets better. Well, that's the theory that we're in now. They're absolutely Klan. They're absolutely Klan. Harmeet Dillon, another nasty piece of work heading the Civil Rights Division. Her little friend, her in-house counsel who pushed this forward, they're Klan adjacent. And I think that I agree with those who would argue that this is all part of a larger strategy, which is to try to force us into the street and confrontation. This is what deploying the Marines in California is about. This is what these nasty provocations are about. Now, I'm not really enthusiastic about beating up on the Democrats, and I'll tell you why. Because they seem to believe that this is a country. And people get a little irritated when I say it's not a nation. It's a state with a lot of different nations in it. The illusion that the United States of America, that you people who live here are a people, constitute a people. Someone please show me somewhere in the history where that's true, and I'm willing to rethink what I'm thinking, but I haven't seen it yet, and I doubt I will see it. People who seem to think that somehow white supremacy can be overcome by finding common ground. You don't understand white supremacy. You really don't. That's why the people are saying MAGA is fighting itself. No, blood calls blood, blood answers. Their Trump may not be the Superman they had hoped him to be, but they're always going to pick him right or wrong with a 6-year-old sitting in his lap over you. So don't try to appeal to any logic. What we're seeing here is a provocation. They know exactly what they're doing. Expecting a judge to rule differently, I think there are 2 ways that can cut finally. If this judge does say, no, I'm going to give them substantially more time, it could extend the possibility that the rule of law could kick in, but that also extends the illusion, the delusion somehow that African people have in this country that there is a solution to this that's going to allow them to sit on the sidelines. Alternatively, if the judge takes the recommendation, and this is indeed what happens, and make no mistake, exactly what you said, Trump's going to pardon him. He'll be back on law enforcement somewhere. And if he's not on law enforcement, he'll be on somebody's private security detail, maybe Stephen Miller or somebody, or, don't worry, they're going to take care of Brett Hankerson, that nasty little piece of work. But either way, we're going to have to fight. That is what our ancestors did a day after Ida B. Wells' birthday yesterday. We've got to fight. And that fighting isn't just in the ballot box. That fighting may end up being in the street. But this confrontation is going to be unavoidable. The United States of America is going to fall apart. They are now pressing the gas pedal. And in pressing the gas pedal, they're going to realize that the rest of us may try to play nice, but once this facade falls, the confrontation is going to leave in its wake a very different country than we live in. And those of you who think that I'm talking big enough, you don't know enough history to even have this argument with me. I'm very clear about what's happening now. So I kind of have a little bit of enthusiasm because it was going to come to this one day either way.
You know, Reese, and I've seen this in other group chats. Folks like, oh, they're trying to bait us, they're trying to bait us. But you know what? Whether folk want to own it or not, when them Latinos fought back against ICE, people responded. See, we know he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act. We know this. But they also are counting on people being afraid. They're counting on people being too scared. And if there was ever a moment where they have to be met with massive protests, this is that moment. But it cannot be gathering just for the hell of it. It has to be not, well, we're going to be in this city or we're going to have this protest. No. It has to be a strategic protest that is around voting. See, you've got mayoral elections in New Orleans in the fall. You've got the Virginia House and Senate race. You have to make them pay politically. And so you must be utilizing protests that, first of all, mobilizes people. Then once you mobilize them, you organize them, and now you direct them to a certain thing. But these people cannot believe that they have a free license to do what they're doing.
And they do have a free license to do what they're doing. Debate was November 5th. The fuck? They literally put out a 900-page document that said they were going to do all the shit that they're doing. Project 2025.observer says they're 61% complete with their DOJ objectives, one of which being undoing the consent decrees that related to Breonna Taylor, that related to George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, and Tyree Nichols down in Memphis. So they already know they can do exactly what the fuck they doing, because who gonna check them? They pulled our punk card in November, and 89 million people stayed home. Donald Trump ran on giving police officers immunity. He said the same shit in front of you, Roland, and ABJ. Oh, the one with the water. He never backed down off it. He never lied about what he planned to do. He said it was going to be open season on Black people. When he got in, one of the first things that he did was pardon an officer in D.C. who killed a Black person. His DOJ has been letting cops who have been convicted of crimes out of jail, off the hook. And this is another example of it. Republicans have been saying forever that your Black life doesn't matter. Breonna Taylor was 26 years old when her house was raided based off of a faulty warrant, faulty surveillance, shot into like guns of the Navarone. And this DOJ under Trump has said that her life is worth one day. That's it. That's the trade-off between 60 plus years being taken off her life and the life of a white cop. One day, a minor inconvenience for him. But this is who they told us who they are. This is who they told us what they were going to do. And we allowed it to happen, along with MAGA, who voted for it enthusiastically, along with people who stayed home. We had the capacity to say, hell no, we're not going back. That was Kamala's slogan. We're not going back. And what do? We had lower turnout and lower support for Kamala Harris than even Hillary Clinton got. And I heard super predators a million times when Hillary Clinton was running, and yet Kamala Harris got less votes. So they know that they can do what they're doing. I don't think it's a provocation. It is y'all ain't gonna do shit. And they might just be fucking right.
Nola, when you sit elections out, you get what you get. And for the people who go, oh my God, I didn't think it was going to go this far. I mean, again, you can't say they didn't tell you. They said it. We warned people. Yeah, y'all shilling. Yeah, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know. If I had to do a roll call of all them Simple Simon Negroes, yeah. If I had to, don't get me started. I could run the tables on Vicky Dillon, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Philip Scott. Oh yeah, Black Authority. All y'all. Look at them, they shilling. Look at them, they shilling for the Democrats. They just chill. Yeah, look at y'all just shit. But ask Breonna Taylor mama how she feel today. Ask Tamika Mallory and the folks at Until Freedom who literally moved to Louisville, fighting 5 years trying to make this thing happen. Folk who invested time and energy, got COVID, folks were sick and all that sort of stuff. But we listened to a whole bunch of folk, Nola. Yeah, y'all just shilling. Y'all out there, y'all supporting Kamala. She ain't doing nothing. We ain't backing her with. Oh, they were all running their mouths. But it's amazing how silent they are today. They ain't saying nothing, Nola, about Trump screwing those black folks in Lowndes County who got sewage backing up in their houses. They ain't saying nothing about the black folks in Cancer Alley where they canceled the lawsuit who've been dying because of the petrochemical companies there. They ain't saying nothing about the black folks who got screwed for voting rights and housing rights in Texas. Oh, they ain't saying nothing about them. They ain't saying a damn thing about them wanting to get rid of the DBE federal program. They ain't saying nothing about any of this stuff. They ain't saying jack. And these are the same folk who love talking about fight. We're going to have a topic coming up next. They ain't saying nothing how under a Democrat appointee on the FCC changed the damn law when it came to how many folks were getting overcharged for making phone calls in prison. Republicans got in and said, no, we throwing that out. We're just going to discuss that next. I'm sorry. I forgot, Nola. What no tangibles. Yeah. All y'all FBA, B1, ADOS assholes. Well, guess what? All that complaining y'all did, welcome to Trump MAGA America. I hope y'all are having a great time. Nola, go ahead before I go to break.
You know, I have this saying, ignorance is seductive. And there has always existed in our community this kind of contrarian nature for the sake of being contrarian, for the sake of, being performative, for the sake of making a point that isn't really there. But I'm interested in pragmatism. I'm interested in voting for policies that make my life better and that make the lives better to people that I care about. And for whatever reason, those folks who are seduced by, this facade that Trump Republicans, that MAGA folks are open and welcome. They welcome you in. I've heard this several times. And I'm like, wait a minute. So the same group of people who welcome people in during the campaign, and then those same people are on social media saying, oh, look, I went to this event. Or look, I'm in this group chat and they're treating me bad. They're calling me names. They're calling me out of my name. So it's just so many very interesting variables when you think about the Black folks who decided that voting for Trump or not voting at all would be the same as. There's a level of conditioning that's happening in many different parts of the internet, in conversations, in group chats, that frankly, that a lot of liberal progressives, whatever you want to call Democrats, all the things were just not dialed into. I was at a dinner just a few weeks ago, and there are, these different gatherings of folks in foreign policy, and the glaze over is still there because people are just now starting to realize that we were existing in a bubble. Well, I'm being generous when I say we. As a Black woman, I don't have, I can't exist in a bubble. I have to clear-eyed every single day. But they really were existing in this bubble of progress when all this other stuff was happening in the country. And that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in, what are we missing now? I mean, we're so busy dealing with all the shenanigans every single day from the Trump administration. But what are we missing now? Those same folks, Roland, that you're talking about that are being quiet, what are they doing, though? are they still plugged into this MAGA
Grifting?
machine? Like, I'm very curious about this.
They grifting. They grifting. They grifting.
I don't
That's
live
what
in
they
that
doing.
world, so
they
I don't
grifting,
know.
which is what they were doing. Which is what they were doing before. And I love this. I love the Negroes who are like, yeah, we need to be supporting black-owned businesses, and fools we losing contracts left and right. See again. I ain't got time for them. And that's why, because normally I ignore these fools. But again, no, it's amazing how quiet they are. And they holler, do for self, do for self, do for self, do for self. Somebody sent me a video of that little fool from Georgia I had on. Somebody posted, they were all looking at this young brother, he was eating Roland Martin up. And I'm like, y'all fools ain't realize y'all got played. He came on the show that fool supported the Republicans of voter suppression in Georgia. He was at the Trump White House dancing at the Black History Month program. He had supported Brian Kemp over Stacey Abrams, and he was hollering about, yeah, we don't need no government help. Yet he was trying to get a school building for his school from the government, the school district there. But again, the Simple Simon Negroes fell for the okie doke, not even realizing he was MAGA the entire time. And we have to understand that there are some gullible black people who fall for folk who come to us who yell do for self, who don't give a damn about our community, but they fronting. But then you got the people who love running their mouths, talking about trying to shame somebody. Yeah, you this and you that, and you a shield, and you supporting Kamala, and you a Democrat. Well, let's see here. If I got a white supremacist who is going to employ a white supremacist like Stephen Miller, and who says to me, I want to give cops 100% immunity, I want to shut down all civil rights programs, I want to shut down all affirmative action programs. If that's on this side, and on this side, I got a black woman who talked about, all y'all Negro, she said she wasn't going to do nothing specific for black people. What did he say he was going to do specific for black people? But we got a black woman over here who fought for record amounts of money for black contracts through the SBA, HBCU funding, black maternal health, and a host of others. But then y'all Simple Simon Negro said she wasn't black enough. Oh, but we know he white enough and orange, but she wasn't black enough. So if you think that's the choice I had between that fool and her, you goddamn right I was going with her. I would be a stupid fool to say I'm a side with the white supremacists against my people. Man, y'all got me confused.
And Roland, can I just say something real quick about her policy? What'd you say?
Real quick, come on. I got my next guest. Wait, real quick.
I wanted to say specifically about her wanting to help caregivers. Okay, about her wanting to help caregivers. That affects black people. All these folks who think that magically you're not going to age, your parents are going to age one day. And that help that black lady wanted to give y'all going to be wishing for it. Trust and believe. That's all I have to say.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.